stop playing Dowdun Reach like a normal region, as this update is not about fast progression. Instead, it's actually a loop, and if you don't understand that, well, it's going to feel very slow and you're going to waste a lot of time. I mean, it looks absolutely awesome, dude. The fortress itself is beautiful, but don't let it fool you. It is not set up the exact same way that the other regions have been. You're honestly not limited by difficulty or a progression system, and instead, you're very much limited by the amount of loot that you can pick up and find. Man, the inventory system here for Dow Dun will absolutely destroy you if you guys are not ready or prepared. For one, you're constantly maxed out on inventory space. That's the first thing I noticed when I got in here to the Dow Dun Reach area. I mean, it is max, like beyond loot goblin max, okay? You can find better potions than the ones that you can actually craft yourself. You can find random resources. You can find scrap items. You can find new linen items. You name it, you can find it here randomly hidden everywhere, including something as important as vault cores. Like, yeah, not even in a vault, you can find these bad boys laying around the entire fortress. And the loot isn't just hidden inside either, it's also outside. I would highly recommend that you guys bring a shovel along with you as a little side tip here, because like I said, there is a ton of buried treasure, and make sure that you guys are checking everywhere, because there is tons of hidden loot, not just secret passageways to go through, but just tons of hidden loot even up in the air. And now moving on to the next thing, and that is Mithril Ore. All right, Mithril Ore is the new ore here for the Dow Dun Reach area, but it seems, at least within my first like 2 hours of playing this region, it's pretty rare. Like, I think I've only found like 3, maybe 4 nodes in total, when I found a lot more loot obviously everywhere else. And I'm glad that I actually had a massive abundance of coal already at my base from farming prior to the update dropping, because it did aid me to be able to craft basically the 2 tools, right? The axe and the pickaxe. But I've literally only found 4 ore nodes for mithril. So there's a lot more, I'm sure, out there that I will discover as I continue to work through the fortress area here for Dow Dun. But that was just something huge and something just to acknowledge right off the bat. Oh, and speaking of the new tools, the first one you should craft is the axe, because you have to take the axe to chop down the new maple trees in the Dow Dun Reach area in order for you to get the maple wood, which is then needed to unlock the pickaxe recipes. Once you unlock the tier 6 tools, you'll then be able to go back and farm all of the new items inside of Dow Dun Reach. Next up, we have death punishes positioning, not skill. And what I mean by this is, one of the things I noticed right off the bat in the Dow Dun Reach area or zone, you have to run back a long ways, dude, to get to your body. Like, if you happen to die randomly here in the castle, you literally can't place a lodestone down. So with that being said, I wanted to put you guys on a little tip here. It's not the, craziest tip, but I did actually find a way to glitch a lodestone. This might be patched in the near future or whatever if the developers happen to see this. But if they don't, here's the area that I currently have mine placed, and it does allow me to respawn within the fortress area, not in the courtyard or even beyond that. When I do happen to die and teleport back, it saves me quite a bit of time from running back and forth. And speaking on enemies, that brings us to the next thing that I noticed right off the bat, and that is, so far in my first couple hours of playing, I haven't really experienced anything too crazy or too challenging when it comes to the combat for Dow Dun's area. Even though it's in closer quarters, even though we might not be able to, separate ourselves too far away, it didn't feel too challenging. And most of the enemies I have noticed, even though they do hit like a Mack truck, if you happen to take one to the chin, they do seem to be predictable, like, poking them a couple of times, backing up, dodging, rolling out of the way of their attacks, then poking them a couple of more times, rinse and repeating. I haven't really had too many issues with, an abundance of enemies attacking me at one time, at least not something that I wasn't able to handle relatively with ease, especially because going into Dow Dun Reach, I did have a full set of steel armor and full set of steel tools and weapons, which I feel like most players are probably going to have about this point in the game. With that being said, though, honestly, I have actually died 2 times so far in the new region and zone in my first couple of hours of playing, and a lot of it was just purely due to greed and just not paying attention. My health was significantly lower, I was not blocking like I adequately should, and I just poked too many times trying to be greedy to get the kill and not seeing that they either got the swing off before me, or I got jumped by another mob that was close by, or potentially, just like I said, not healing myself to take care of myself prior to going into another fight. But in general here, they do hit like a truck. Make sure you come prepared, bring extra health potions, bring extra buff potions or extra food to actually provide additional buffs for you, whatever your playstyle is, and make sure that your ward shield is constantly up if you do wish to survive in Dow Dun Reach. And just a quick rapid fire here of my experience and bringing you guys what I would recommend right off the bat and what to expect. One, the enemies are way harder and hit a lot harder, so make sure you guys are constantly carrying health potions, making sure your ward shield is topped off, and making sure you're bringing food that is providing additional buffs and bonuses to you to just, again, aid you inside of that combat. Secondly, bring a shovel. There is tons and tons and tons of buried treasure, and there's tons of loot, not even only on the ground, but also up above, so make sure you're looking across that, utilizing your wind step ability as much as you possibly can. If you can see it, you probably can get to it, and there probably is something there or a reason for you to be able to traverse there. And lastly, I would recommend not brute forcing your way through the cathedral as fast as you possibly can. Take your time, explore everything. There is tons of hidden loot, tons of secret passageways, even hidden walls that you can utilize your smash ability to, you know, uncover new areas or even elite mobs that could potentially drop you some awesome unique items. And with that being said, that wraps up my first impressions thoughts here of Dow Dun and what you guys need to know going into it. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you found it valuable, please drop a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are or first impressions are on Dow Dun. I would love to have a conversation. Don't forget to subscribe here on the channel for more RuneScape Dragonwilds content. And with that being said, as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.